the consensus was that there needs to be much more support for local governments to be able to do their jobs in concert with the Border Patrol. 50+% of all the apprehensions crossing our border from Brownsville to San Diego happen here in Hidalgo County. It's pretty amazing. And providing support to the local government makes a lot of sense to me.
What is your campaign doing to shift focus back to a more comprehensive approach?
Secondly, the conversation focused on how do you balance the economic interest of a region like this and border security. You have to make sure that you do this in a way that doesn't make it hard for people's livelihoods to continue to prosper and grow. That the majority of people crossing the border here are not coming from Mexico. They're coming from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. They're part of the Northern Triangle countries that have taken advantage of a loophole in the law, in effect, that was passed a few years ago. And I think that creating a healthy deterrent effect to be able to make sure that these particularly young kids don't cross all the way through Mexico to come to be processed into our country is just completely inappropriate. There are examples of doing it the right way where you create a healthy deterrent effect where people's lives aren't in jeopardy. I'm not going to get into the issues of what he said and I said. The simple fact is that his proposal is unrealistic. It will cost hundreds of billions of dollars. It will violate people's civil liberties. It will create friction with our third largest trading partner that is not necessary. And I think he's wrong about this. If he was interested in a more comprehensive approach, he might want to read my book, Immigration Wars, which I published 4 years ago. I welcome Mr. Trump into the debate. I think that's great. He's serious, he's a serious candidate, and he ought to be held to what serious candidates need to be held to. He needs to be held to account for his views. This is ludicrous for the Clinton campaign and others to suggest that somehow I'm using a derogatory term. What I was talking about was the specific case of fraud being committed where there's organized efforts, and frankly it's more related to Asian people coming into our country, having children, in that organized efforts, taking advantage of a noble concept with his birthright citizenship. I support the 14th Amendment. Nothing about what I've said should be viewed as derogatory towards immigrants at all. This is all how politics plays. And by the way, I think we need to take a step back and chill out a little bit as it relates to the political correctness that somehow you have to be scolded every time you say something. It's not fair to be taken out of context. That's the nature of politics. But I mean,